Hi scholars, welcome to Math with Miss Ramirez. That's me. Alright, today what you'll need while we're doing math together is you'll need your whiteboard and marker, you'll need your counters, and if you have it, your number bond sheet, it looks like this. It has a 10 frame on the other side and then this big one on the other side. If you don't have it, it's okay, you can use your whiteboard and draw it out. The objective today is to understand the relationship between addition and subtraction. Now, you may be wondering, what are addition and subtraction? Well, that's a good question. Addition is when you put two or more numbers together. So for example, if you have 5 fingers and 2 more, you make 7 altogether. The next problem is if you have 2 fingers and 2 more, if you put them together, you have 4, etc. So the numbers you put together are also called addends, and we'll talk more about those in a second. Now, subtraction, on the other hand, is when you take away from another number. So, for example, if you have 3 apples and then you eat 2 of them, then you have 1 apple left. And if you have 4 apples and you eat 2 of them, now you have 2 apples left. Both of these are called equations, and an equation is when you have an equal sign to show that the two things are the same. So for example, 3 minus 2 is the same thing as 1. As well as 4 minus 2 is the same thing as 2. And there is addition equations and subtraction equations. Now, you may be thinking, what are addends, Ms. Ramirez? You never told us. Well, addends are a number that is being added. For example, 2 plus 3 equals 5. Can you think of which ones are the addends? Take a second. Which ones are the addends? If you said 2 and 3, you are absolutely correct. 2 plus 3 are the numbers that we're going to put together to make 5. Good job. Let's practice again. 4 plus 4 equals 8. Which ones are our addends? Think about it. Which ones are our addends? If you said 4 plus 4, you're absolutely correct. Those are the numbers that we're going to put together to make 8. Now, what is it called when we have an addition equation with the same addends, like this one, 4 plus 4? What is that called when we have the same addends? You are correct, doubles. Remember, doubles are when we have the same number and we're putting them both together. Let's try one more. 5 plus 2 equals 7. Which ones are our addends? Think about it. All right, if you said 5 and 2, you are correct. Those are the addends, the numbers that we're going to put together to make 7. All right, but also addends can help us make a number bond. Now, who can tell me, what is this top part called of a number bond? Or the bigger part of the number bond? What is that called? If you said a whole, you are absolutely correct. Now, there's another name for this. Can you think of the other name for this part of the number bond? The total. Perfect job. The whole and the total are the biggest number in our number bond. Now, what are these two called at the bottom? What do you think these two are called at the bottom? Parts. Good job. So repeat after me. Part, part, whole. Good job. One more time. Part, part, whole. Great job. The parts are the ones that we put together to make our total or whole. Now, you're thinking, what are addends supposed to do with any of this? Well, addends are the numbers that make our parts. So these are the numbers that we add together to make our whole. And so that's why it's really important to understand where addends come from. Now, let's practice. We have an equation, an addition equation, because I see a plus sign. 2 plus 4 equals 6. Can you think of where the numbers go in our number bond? Go ahead and pause this video if you need to. Use your whiteboard to write it out. And then click play again when you're ready. Okay, so in my equation, I see that 6 is our biggest number and it's at the end of our equation. I know that's our total. So our total is our whole that goes in the bigger box in our number bond. The other numbers are the ones that we're adding together, we're putting together, 2 plus 4. So those are our addends, which are our parts. 2 is a part, and 4 is a part. Kiss your brains if you've got this answer correct. Beautiful job. All right, let's try one more. Our addition equation is 5 plus 3 equals 8. Go ahead and pause this video so you can do this on your whiteboard. 5 plus 3 equals 8. Think of which one is our whole, which ones are our parts. Okay, I know that 8 is the total in our equation, therefore it is the whole in our number bond. That means that the 5 and the 3 are the ones that we're adding together, so that must mean that they are our addends. So 5 is a part and 3 is a part. Great job. If you got this one right, go ahead and pat yourself in the back. Great job, scholars. All right, now we've been talking about math, but what about subtraction? We haven't been talking about subtraction. How can we use a number bond to help with subtraction? Well, let's practice. Here's a sentence, a problem for you using subtraction. It says, Miss Ramirez has 6 cookies. Miss Higa eats 2 of them. Miss Higa, how many cookies does Miss Ramirez have left? I see that there are 6 cookies on my screen. And I know Miss Higa ate 2 of them. So how many cookies do I have left? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. Now let's check our work and use our counters. Okay, scholars, so our problem was that Miss Ramirez had 6 cookies and Miss Higa ate 2 of them. How many cookies does Miss Ramirez have left? Now, I want to think about what number is my total. What is the biggest number I have? And I know, thinking about my important information, I'm going to circle that Miss Ramirez had 6 cookies and Miss Higa ate 2. So Miss Ramirez started with 6. So that tells me that Miss Ramirez had a total of 6 cookies. Now, a part in our equation will be that Miss Higa ate 2 of those cookies. Our problem now is to figure out what is our other part. So Miss Ramirez can make a subtraction problem by doing 6 minus 2, taking away the 2 cookies that Miss Higa ate. To find my answer, I can draw it out. You can also use your counters, so follow along using your counters. I have 6 cookies. And I know that Miss Higa ate 2, so I'm going to cross out 2 of these cookies. Now let's count how many I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that must mean that my other part is 4 cookies. And that is how we can use a number bond. Okay, scholars, let's practice. We have 5 plus blank equals 7, and 7 minus 5 equals blank. So the easier way to figure this out is if we fill in our number bond. Now, it's already filled in for us. We know that the whole is 7, and one of our parts is 5. So we have to find our other part. Now, what we can do is we can draw it out. So we know that there are 7 here. Let's draw 7 circles. And there's 5 here. Now we need to look at the difference of how many circles we have difference between here. And I can see that there are 2 circles besides the 5. So that must mean that our other part is 2 circles. Now we have to check. So let's check using our parts and see if we get 7. We have 5 in my head, and I count on 6, 7. That is our answer, so good job. So now we fill in our equations. 5 plus our other part, 5 plus 2 equals 7. So that must mean that 7 minus 5 equals 2. Good job, scholars. All right, scholars, let's practice one more time. We have 3 plus blank equals 4, and 4 minus 3 equals blank. So we know that our whole is 4 based on our number bond, and our part is 3. So we're trying to figure out what is our other part. So if I take my counters and I have 4 here, and then I draw 3 for my other part, and I look at the difference, I see that there is 1 left over from the 3. So that must mean that my other part is 1. So let's check our work. We put the parts together and see if we find our total. 3 plus 1 equals 4. Good. So for our equations, we have 3 plus 1 equals 4. And that means that for our subtraction equation, we have 4 minus 3 equals our other part, 1. Good job, scholars.